welcome back. Now, I only want to deal with one subject on this live stream, because it was sort of, I don't know, mood-based. Yeah. It was sort of mood-based. And I just want to appreciate having knowledge that can keep me safe. It feels good, you know what I mean? To know that you're not going to end up like a lot of people have. Or at least to be prepared. It feels good. Don't ever take knowledge for granted. Having the ability to read and, retain information, process information. Don't ever take that for granted. So this lady was attacked badly in Memphis, Tennessee by a pack of dogs. And I don't believe things like this should be happening in 2026. Shouldn't be happening. We are knee deep in the internet culture, right? Internet really took off, I would say, around 2000. Let's say around the year 2000. 26 years. That's a long time. And that's all you need. That's all you need. Now, this is a bad attack, so bear with me. Kind of brace yourself.
It's my first time seeing myself. I'm in a lot of pain. I just want whoever owned them dogs, I want them to be held accountable.
First at 5 on your news leader, heartbreaking words from a woman who was viciously attacked by a pack of dogs in Holly Springs. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Greg Hurst. Stephanie is off tonight. Lakeisha Newsom says that she wants the owner to be held accountable so no one else will experience that pain. WREG's Raven Copeland joins us now live from Regional 1. And Raven, just breaks your heart.
If you find the owners, I don't know if they found the owners. From what I know, the sheriff, I believe they're in custody of the sheriffs. Okay? So I'm not aware of that. But what's going to keep people safe is knowledge. You're out walking on a highway. And I think this was late at night. It don't matter when it is. Late at night or in the broad daylight. It don't matter. You in Mississippi. Or not Mississippi. Tennessee. Well, yeah, Memphis, Tennessee. You're in Tennessee of all places. The average person should know dogs are a threat for walkers. Let's just put it in the context of walkers. Most people attend some type of schooling at some point in their life. Most Americans. And the same might be true for people all across the world. You attend some level of schooling. The smallest amount of schooling should include what to do, how to function in society where dogs are always a threat. You never, if you're going out walking Maybe you don't have transportation for whatever. You can't Uber nothing. You can't Lyft. They got a bunch of these little apps and companies. You can't get a taxi. You have to walk. You cannot be unarmed. That is a no-go. You must be armed with something, preferably, you know what I like, the ratchet. Okay, you got to be approved by the law. I know a lot of people have issues with that. My best advice is keep your record clean, be a law-abiding citizen, and legally carry a ratchet. Primarily for dogs. Primarily for dogs. I have to take my time. When people see my weapon, if I know that somebody is aware that I'm armed, I make it a point to let them know it's for dogs. And of course, if I have to use it in self-defense against a human, I would. I don't need to verbalize that. I want people to know that my perceived threat, what I perceive as a constant threat, is dogs, not people. Not people. I feel like I can negotiate. I can communicate. I can talk to people. I'm a human. I'm not a dog. And I will say that most people who walk around armed don't need to be. But let's continue.
WREG's Raven Copeland joins us now live from Regional 1. And Raven, just breaks your heart to hear Ms. Newsom. How's she doing tonight?
Yeah, it's just very heartbreaking, Greg. And when I spoke to her on the phone today, I could see just how significant her injuries are. She tells me she's still in a lot of pain, and doctors have told her that they may have to amputate a limb.
At one point, they did stop attacking me. I guess they thought I was dead, and I was trying to land back on my feet, try to get away from them. And once they noticed that, that's when they started back attacking me again.
Through tears and from a hospital bed, Lakeisha Newsom describes the terror she experienced when she was mauled by a pack of dogs in Holly Springs on...
This is easily avoidable. Even a pack of dogs, they're very easy to scare off. Sometimes even a confident person, just one person, can scare off a whole pack of dogs. But certainly a ratchet will clear them out. Even if you're not the type to carry something like that. And let's say you wanted to discharge it in the air to scare the dogs, there's a good chance they would disperse. Everybody should be able to have a firearm. Obey the law. I don't like seeing people not able to protect themselves from dogs. Now, if you're in another part of the world, listen, I get it. Look into your laws about pellet guns. You need something serious to stop these things, man. I don't want to hear nothing about no pepper spray or no mace. some of the tasers might be decent, but you got to get all close to them, man. I don't trust none of that stuff. And when the dog is in full attack mode, there's a good chance all that buzzing and tasing it ain't gonna do nothing to that worthless mutt. They got mutant strength. These things got mutant strength.
On March 3rd, Newsom's walk along Highway 178 quickly turned into a fight for her life as 4 dogs viciously attacked her.
Because I know they were them dogs was trying to kill me. And I fought them off as long as I could. I just kept saying, God, no, I shall live. I said, it's the first time me looking at myself.
You know, it's hard to accept this, that ignorance is the real culprit here. It's crazy to see how ignorance can get you unalived. And it make you value knowledge. I'm not walking nowhere unarmed. Especially when it comes to dogs. Are you kidding? I mean, wow. And the thought of this happening probably never crossed her mind.
In full view, I didn't even know my face was scarred up like this.
Newsom remains in pain 10 days later and says doctors have told her she may need a limb amputation due to the severity of her injuries. The mother of 3 tells WREG she's grateful to be alive. However, she and her family want justice in what they describe as a near-fatal attack.
A life could have been taken. A life.
Your little settlement, that ain't justice. Justice is to make sure people know better than to go walking unarmed anywhere. I'm critical of you for just going out to check your mail. And you don't have some form of protection. I'm gonna question you. What's your problem? You think it's sweet just because you're going to get your mail? No, you can get attacked going to get your mail. It can go down at any point where you're outside. It can go down. So act like it. Prepare for it. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Your 5 P's. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Don't get caught lacking. Particular FBA, it don't matter. I don't care what your ethnicity is. Are you stupid or what? Are you not smarter than this? People, 2026, we should not be getting chewed on by dogs. Like, it's so disagreeable when people behave like primitives. We are so beyond primitive life. Even if these things are permitted in society, we should be acting accordingly. You always stay prepared to French toast a mutt, especially if you're walking. Listen, if I'm out if you ever see me walking a dog nor a pack of dogs, that'll be the worst decision going on. My OBS disconnected. They're missing this type of threat detection. it always helps you to be hypersensitive to threats. You shouldn't be lacking in that department. Hold up a second. I got to refresh my studio. My studio. OBS, listen, man, all you streamers, don't use OBS. It really is worthless. Okay, are we working here? Let's continue with this for this thing breakdown.
Could have been burying my daughter. Her injuries is so deep. One of her wounds is continuing to bleeding now.
Monday, Holly Springs police told.
Goodness. Here's the thing. Here's what upsets me about these dog attacks. Whenever I hear about them, especially ones like this, I can't help but to picture it in my head. And I see a person out walking and they hear dogs coming and they turn around and they look, just like a person in a horror movie. They got big bug eyes, right? Their eyes bucking. They see the dogs coming. Maybe you try to run for it. Maybe you tried to run for it and then, oof, you fell. The dogs are nipping you. You lost your balance. And you can't get up. You're struggling. Life is hard for some stupid, worthless, dumb mutts. These things are so cowardly. That's how you need to think about this. That's how you need to look at these things. They are extremely cowardly creatures, and they will run away for anything. You should look at it as shameful to be attacked by dogs. If you want to survive in this kind of environment, this is how you have to think. Because they truly are cowardly creatures. That's why they primarily attack the young. Those 13 and under, infants included. Anything that moves like that is cowardly. You don't want to find yourself getting attacked by these things, begging for your life, begging these worthless, dumb mutants, inbred mutants for your life. You're supposed to be sending them running because you got the ratchet, right? You got maybe a couple ratchets. Y'all don't think I walk around with more than one hammer? Y'all think as, a repairman, I walk around with just one hammer all the time? That could jam. Anything could happen to one ratchet. Not only that, if I lose both of them, that thing's gonna have to deal with knives. It's gonna have to deal with all kinds of things. You have to walk, you gotta stomp this ground as a threat to dogs. Look at cops. They give you a perfect example. Look at how many dogs that make themselves a threat to cops. Look at how they walk away from those. Many of them don't walk away. The mutt don't walk away. They get carried away from these situations. And cops are the only ones that deal with them the way they should be dealt with, like a menacing threat that they are, like the lethal, deadly, bloodthirsty threat that they are. These cops are right. They're dead on when they up, ratchet, and blow. These things are deadly threats. They shouldn't be looked at as anything but deadly threats. I mean, as soon as you hear the phrase walking, you should be looking for your side, your protection. Where is it? Just instinct. Soon as you hear walking, it's time to go walking, you instantly looking for your what? Protection. Listen, I didn't choose the world. That's just the kind of world we're in. The problem is people trying to make believe like it's a different kind of world. Thinking you just go walking. Oh, I'm going to have me a nice little walk. I'm going to have to have me a nice little stroll. About to mosey on down to the corner store. Huh? Get me a nice breath of fresh air. Huh? You going to have you a nice little time walking to the store, huh? It ain't that type of world. That's the only thing, like, if that's the only thing you take away from listening, I'm happy. I'm happy. You don't have to hate dogs. You don't have to hate dogs. As long as you're aware that you simply walk into the store, you putting yourself in danger primarily, I'm happy. Just accept the truth. That's all it's about. That's all dog culture criticism is about. Putting out the truth, the facts. The problem is people have a hard time accepting it. That's the problem.
Told your news leader they contacted the possible owner and had questions about some of Newsom's injuries, specifically the cause of the victim's black eyes. No one has been charged in the attack, but Police Chief Grant Glover says the case remains under investigation.
I'm hoping and praying for a complete...
I've seen that before. I don't know how that happens. We've seen that. We've seen youngsters with black eyes. They get with dogs. How exactly does that happen? That is kind of mysterious.
Healing, but I know that I don't want anyone else to have to go through this situation because, like I said, it could have been a child.
They just seem so vulnerable. These attack victims seem so vulnerable. It's like you can hear in their voice that they never, like it never crossed their mind. The thought, it never even crossed their mind as a possibility. Walking for whatever you walking for. That's a scary state of mind to be in, especially as an older person. Like, what? No. I'm going to be in my 30s thinking like this, 40s, and you just find out the hard way. You walking down this, sidewalk, having you a good old time. Probably got your earbuds in, right? Your favorite song. You in a daze. And you see something out the corner of your eye. And then you see something else out the other corner of your eye. Suddenly you surrounded by mutts. You know that's fight or flight. Heart start racing because you know what? I am naked. I'm totally unarmed. So you completely at the dog's mercy. And you know they're not going to show you no mercy. They're not human. They're not us. And that's what y'all so badly want them to be. You know what? It's not till they're confronted in a situation like that do they wish so badly that those dogs were actually humans that they could negotiate with, communicate with, talk down, have some form of communication. I bet every attack victim, they wish in that moment, oh, I wish this were not a dog and this were a human being instead. Nope. You can, even if you know the dog's name, it could be the neighbor's dog. It's happened several times, right? You sitting there calling that worthless mutt by its name. It's not paying you no attention. Well, it is paying you attention. It's attacking you. Why are you calling its name? Yeah, all that vitriol against people, putting dogs over people, all that do is set you up for something dumb happening to you.
Very heartbreaking situation, and I spoke and I reached out to Holly Springs Police Chief for an update. I haven't heard back, but when we spoke to him on Monday, he told us that the dogs were in cages and not a danger to the community. Reporting live from Regional 1 for...
They still a danger. They still a danger to the community. Man, let me tell y'all something. For years, I've been struggling with anxiety. You know, I got a bunch of slip discs in my back. I have 4 bulging discs. 4 different bulging discs in my lower back alone. I got deterioration between each vertebrae in my lower back between L1 and L5. In all my life, or I would say for the past 2 decades, I could feel it in my nervous system. I'm always clenched, tense, nervy. I went to see a chiropractor about 10 years ago. 10 to 13 years ago, something like that. And after about 5 visits, he said, man, you're always tense. Like when he would go to, you know how they check out your back muscles before they crack it? I guess to test to see if they're relaxed or not. But he made a note. And it's like, man, every time you come in here, you're tense. And the thing what shocked him is that I would be tense in a relaxed position where any other person would be relaxed in that position. Like I just tense up. Do you know what pretty much killed that for me? And I just recently found this out. Chamomile. I don't know if you heard of it. It's a flower. A lot of people use it for sleep. And if you take it, some people have compared it to Valium. There's reviews online comparing, the sedative power or efficiency, comparing it to Valium. I believe Valium, is that right? Valium is prescription level sleep medication. But this chamomile stuff is an herbal tea. Do y'all know, man, as long as I drink that nonstop every day, all day, you won't go to sleep. I know you're thinking like, whoa, you can't just be banging down a sedative all day. You won't be able to function. It's not like that. It's not like a sleep pill. It's like when you know that you're awake, and your body knows that it's supposed to be awake, and you got something that you're concentrated on. You know, I'm at work. I ain't thinking about sleeping. It don't disrupt me. It don't hold me back. It's like it's not even in your system. You definitely don't feel like you're on a sedative. At least I don't. You feel like the thing is when you want to wind down, you wind down immediately, and it's deep. It's deep. Like you'll be a real good candidate to fall asleep quick if you're sitting in the same position, you know, just for a short period of time. Doctors try all kinds of stuff. Nothing worked for me. But this chamomile stuff, man, if as long as I'm drinking it all day, it's like a miracle drug. It feels like it should be illegal. It has that much of an effect on me. So it's all about knowledge. I can't, it's so valuable. Knowledge, valuable thing, man. Don't waste your ability to obtain knowledge. And if you're going to obtain it, what's the use in obtaining it if you're not going to put it to use? Huh? Hey, peep the head. Yeah, teeth, they rip in our bodies to shreds. To tiny little pieces, okay? See, stay away from dogs. So sad. Shouldn't be talking to grown people like this. Yeah, keep them away from your family too. And you know what? A lot of people just never gonna get it, man. That's the sad part. I'm as many of you know, trying to get. I've been going in, and this has been going on for years, trying to get people trained, and I'm finding out, you know, because management, they don't tell us these concepts, but they're sharing some information with me. A lot of people can't read. A lot of people today can't read. I had, maybe some of y'all's already aware of it. I was not aware of this. I did not know so many people in the general public literally can't read. And some people can read, but like if it's a lot, they can't read. It's like, and they can't comprehend, like they have some type of serious reading disorder. And if you want to talk about reading a book, forget about it. They're not doing nothing like that. Not reading no book. And a lot of them are athletes. A lot of them are freak athletes. They're like multi-geniuses in other things. But when it comes to things like, you know, arithmetic and reading, things like that, fall flat on their face. So I'm just, to be honest, and I know I'm kind of old, 48. I'm just now coming into a realization of this. I'll be honest. Of how many people can't read, how many people are not computer literate, how many people are just like, does it say it, man, just dumb. Like they're so ignorant and just not bright that they're a danger to themselves. They're actually a danger to themselves, and definitely a danger to the people around them. It can only help you to be aware of people like that. A red flag is if they own one of these inbred mutant beasts. Man, that's a whole dozen red flags. That lets you know that they play around with their life. They think something is cute about playing around and not taking their literal life seriously. You know, something edgy and cute about putting their family. I really can't wrap my head around that. You know, if I want to be dumb and put my life on, okay, fine. But when it comes to other people, especially people I'm supposed to be protecting, my family, my kids, are you out of your flipping mind? Ain't no dog. A dog don't want me to see it if I'm with my family. Even if it ain't my biological kids, if I'm with my family, period, man, no threats coming nowhere close to around us. I don't get why people don't translate that with their kids when it comes to dogs, man. It just blows my mind. I don't care what type of propaganda society tried to sell to you. If you sitting there looking at a dog and it's close to your kid, are you crazy? You better have a second look at that thing. You better look a little longer. Huh? And that's what I would expect a real man to do. To sit there and look at that thing and be like, you know what? Get back up. And create distance between that thing and you. And especially if you got family that you care about, and especially if you're a father, you out of your mind. This is something I've been wanting to talk about for so long. These jokers out here who try to make it look like some type of macho thing to bring dogs around their family. You dumb, brainless dirtbags, I will slap each and every one of you clean across your head. You are retarded. Retarded. Got bringing inbred mutant around your family inside their house. Older people, y'all know what I'm talking about. We never fathom having no flipping dog living in the house with us. You didn't do that. Just having the mutt come in the house, everybody felt violated. Like, who let the dog in the house? That's the level of filth, and that's where they should have stayed. That's where they should have stayed. That's the level they should have stayed. Who let this nasty dog in the house? And you thoroughly clean wherever that nasty mutt walked and send it back out. They don't belong in the house. You understand? When you let these things in your home, and especially like on the bed and all this stuff, at that point, you basically writing a public like testimony of your hygiene and how nasty you are. That's all you doing. All you doing is letting the world know how nasty and gutter and primitive and dumb, really dumb you are. Where you just playing with all types of bacteria, dangerous bacteria that could kill your stupid behind. Like I said, nobody should be this stupid in 2026. We should all be offended by this level of stupidity in 2026. How else are we going to evolve unless the people who are fed up, and somebody needs to call these ignoramuses out. There needs to be distance. You need to be called out. There needs to be a screening mechanism, some type of defense protocol to keep these types of lunatics out of society. Get out of here. You don't like life. You think it's fun and some kind of joke to just throw your life and your family's life. Why don't you go and live on an island all by your stupid, retarded self then? Do that. Okay? But when you are in a society where you share with other people, You are beholden. You got to carry yourself in a certain way now. You're not just living for your own stupid self. And a lot of people, you caught up in that. You think the world supposed to bend for you. No, it don't work that way. You're going to get slapped across the head. That's what many of these people, man, I'm telling you. Many of these people are brats. They had their way ever since they was a kid, been spoiled all their stupid life, and they really need to be slapped across the head. But here's the thing. When it comes to the nutters, they got some type of death wish type of complex. You can make all the jokes around, but when you're talking about something that can end your flipping life for nothing, and the thing is so dumb that it will not even be aware of what it just did. That's how these stupid mutts are. They will unalive their master and look around and be acting like, ain't no big deal. You got something dumb in your house, and you treating it just like it's just a normal human being. Really? And it really is lethal. This is not a movie. This ain't no type of joke. Huh? You got to question these people's sanity. Let's be honest. I mean, y'all, society should have started to question these people as soon as they emerged. If there's no pushback against the regression of evolution, then you can just possibly start regressing just immediately and never stop regressing. That's like not having an immune system. There got to be some mechanism to kick back against the stupid. And they've been allowed to permeate. I really don't get it. Why have we ever shown them so much respect when there's nothing to respect, nothing that deserves respect when it comes to dogs or dog culture? Listen, dogs, despicable. So anything that facilitates their flipping existence is despicable too. And that's everything that goes in to maintaining their existence. Start the stupid shelters, worthless. Holding cells for a bunch of inbred mutant killers. Oh, that's pretty much what it is. A bunch of inbred mutant PDF files, basically, because they target the young. Yeah, nothing honorable. That's why, listen, man, they are so manipulative when they put these baby clothes on dogs and try to protect them. That is it's like Satanism. It's beyond Satanism. It's just backwardness, man. Backwardness. You truly dealing with some demented people in the world today. And it's really seen in dog culture. For whatever reason, they can be in your face in dog culture. And it's just accepted. The slogans, the disrespectful or like inhumane slogans. Dogs are better than insert any age. And boom, people not offended. They slap it on a t-shirt. I'm talking about dog culture. They slap it on a t-shirt, slap it on the mug, and they go out flexing. They go out and flex. The more degenerate you are, the more they're going to try to flex it. As long as you're putting dogs at the top as deity, it can be as vile and inhumane as you want. There's no cap, there's no limitation when you're doing something at the expense of people. Okay, my OBS is acting crazy again. Right? When it's at the expense of people, yeah, give us more of that. But and it's crazy, man, because, yeah, dog culture is all about worshiping dogs. So why should, you don't deserve respect if dogs are your God. And where are they? Yeah, well, they lose their religion when it comes to dogs. Right? They're allowed to worship dogs. That's the craziest thing. And it's really not crazy. It's not funny. It's not funny. You see these people who are super religious in their church, maybe church Sunday, and they immediately come home and start worshiping the dog stronger than they worship their deity and the church. And like I said this years ago, they live for their dogs 24/7, 7 days a week. They don't serve their deity like that. They don't even serve their husbands like that. But you pay attention to these dog lovers. They wake up and it's all about their dog. It's all about their dog, period. And what's crazy is that they've raised a generation of abused young people. Dog abused young people. And this dog culture gave birth to this demographic of people who basically made it a sport to put dogs above everybody else in the family. Y'all remember that actor? I think it was Sean Lowe. Look him up. He told his kids that they will never be as loved as the dog. He told them this. They will never reach the level of the dog. Did y'all notice, and his Instagram is still up, how many dog lovers pushed back against that? Zero. None. He wrote that this was an Instagram. It's not even a story. It's like right there on his main profile. And it was so lengthy, he made 2 of them. If I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah. Like you could, it was like 3 or 4 pages long where he talking about how much more important the dog is than his kids. That man represents an entire community. That's why there was no pushback. Sean Lowe represents a community of people who share the exact same beliefs. The dog is more important, superior, and for whatever reason, when they want to project the dog as superior, it's always compared to their own kids. That's the preferred comparison when they want to turn a dog into a super deity. They're better than the kids, and they're always they raise the kids basically always comparing them to the dog, and they've raised a whole generation of abused youngsters. That's what I'm saying. Y'all gonna turn the youth against dog culture. Once that happens, I can retire. Let me wake up tomorrow and find out that the youth has turned on dog culture. Man, please. It will be a wrap. And it's bound to happen. Because this is as educational, and factual, we deal with facts, unlike dog culture. they don't deal with facts. That's what makes them wrong and different. That's the thing. There's nothing special about us. There's something unspecial about them. Right? There's nothing unique about us. There's something ununique about y'all. And nothing really. If you following facts and truth, common sense, well-established morals, you really don't need a pat on the back for that. The thing is, nobody called them out when they wanted to deviate and take it into dog worship, take it into worship in general. It was always seen as cute or dealt with as cute, fun. And the more extreme you want to go, the more they'll applaud it. And it's like, no, at a certain point, you need to calm down and come back to reality. That's crazy. That's crazy. And they was never forced to come back to reality. That's why now you see them, they're still in a dog heaven. They still in make-believe world, still walking around pretending these things. See, that's the worst part of it. It always goes back to them treating these things like they're harmless and raising the next generation to look at them as harmless. That's when you're foul, you're out of order, and you need to be arrested and all that kind of stuff. And they never got checked. Society never checked them. In fact, society, all they do is reward them. More rewards. That's why they've gotten so outrageous. Celebrating a dog's birthday, right? Renting out a whole day at a whole amusement park for a stupid mutt. You notice how they go to extremes with dogs, and they celebrate. And look at how they got dog shows now. These award shows and these goofy dog shows. You know how they got the national dog shows, all kinds of different stupid dog shows. What are we showing dogs? You don't do that with no other animal because they don't worship them. No other animal is worship. Put it like that. Let me put it like that. No other animal is worship. That's why you don't have no other animal nothing. It's all dog everything. Dog show, dog this, dog that. Animal control is undercover dog control. They got dog tools, the little nets. They get the little neck harness. They got the one with this like a pole, little neck harness. That's specifically for dogs. Specifically. So along with all this exclusive dog worship, they got like a response team for them, basically a police department, and it's not funny. Basically a police department, a section of the police department specifically for these things. That's where they tell on themselves, and that's where they make it like impossible to argue their way out of it and try to project these things as acceptable in society. If they ever tried to seriously argue that in front of like say the Supreme Court, they would lose that. It's like, why do you have a specific, and remember, in some states, some districts, municipalities, it's actually called dog control, right? They tried to clean it up and say animal control, and you can tell that they got on code like, hey, we got to change it. Animal control. Don't call it dog control. But to this day, some of them still got it as dog control. Pathetic, man. It's like public defense of criminals, of red rummers, right? That's all it is. That's all it is. At the end of the day, see, you can make the most heinous accusations about dogs, and it's true. It's true. A protected class of child red rummers. Boom. Nobody can argue against that. And yep, dogs are that. And the thing is, dog lovers, they don't want to face, this is what kills me. They don't want to face that kind of truth. Like they don't want to, they'd rather pretend that it's, oh, our best friend, oh, it's harmless. It's so dangerous. Man, listen, this is what should have happened, and it should happen now. These people should be separated from civilized society. And we all know this is, I'm not breaking nothing new. This ain't new. They should not be, and listen, you visit their society, visit our society, you'll see why. You'll see why. That is not civilized society. It's not just about physical attacks. It's not just about health. But you could base their extermination just on that alone. But, and a lot of people don't think about this, they harm human relationships bad in a lot of different ways. Think about it. On the internet, you can find where dogs came in between parents and their kids, husbands, wives, sisters, brothers. We've gone over some of them. They've come in between every type of relationship. And notice how the dogs, their role differs depending on the relationship that they ruin. Right? If it's a couple, you have that dog around too much. Get it out of here. It's almost like this thing is like another person that they're fooling around with right in front of them. And that's why a lot of them break up. A lot of people break up a lot of times. It's over a stupid flipping dog. A lot of them, they don't want to talk about it, but one of them showed the dog too much attention and give it too much attention. Spend too much time on a stupid mutt. If you think about it, that's millions of people in this country alone have experienced this at some point in their life. A stupid mutt ruining their relationships. These things regress the human species. I will argue anybody up and down about that, man. They regress the human species. Human species is unique in its ability to evolve, and there's no cap on its evolution. There's no cap. Everything else has a cap. Okay? So you can throw things in there, different type of situations, circumstances, maybe even viruses that could regress their evolution, halt their evolution, or even reverse it where it starts to regress. Of course, that's obviously any mitochondrial DNA is subject to mutation over a period of time. And human beings are mitochondrial DNA ourselves. So yeah, dogs, man, please. Y'all thought I was just some lunatic who hates dogs. No, man. No. You know what? I knew years ago that a strong dislike of dogs is one of the most civilized things a person could do. That's one of the best mentalities anybody could embrace. Everybody knows this. As a man, whether you're a father, right? Whether you're, have your own family, whether you're a brother and you got sisters, right? You know how the brothers protect the sisters or whatever. Don't tell me one of the smartest things you could do is keep a retarded, lethal mutant away from them. If that's on your list, yeah, I'll buy you a drink. That's a good one. Right? Who would have thought of that? Then you got these goofballs who welcome these mutants into their family like it's another human being. And y'all always making the news. Sadly. A lot of time it's, a defenseless person, youngster, who got attacked, and y'all just collect the bag after it happens, right? Such a despicable culture, man. As soon as you try to respect it, you just can't. You just can't. It wouldn't be acceptable if they were people. That's the bottom line. Wouldn't be acceptable if they were people. We'd have been thrown them. We'd have been gotten rid of them. We'd have been demonized them. Like they should be. Right. Yeah. I mean, look at the content. Look at how much content we've created on these things. Think of all the content creators. Think that, you know what that represents? The damage they've caused. That's a lot of damage. You at least have to admit to that. Even the harshest critics. To have that much to say, and it's negative about something, you can't push that thing as some type of harmless angel on earth. Get out of here. Yeah, let the world get comfortable rejecting dogs. That's what I want. I mean, and to go out of their way to say, don't bring no dogs around here. Go out to the park, be gangster about it, and demand no dogs. Don't bring no dogs around here. Okay? Tell all your family members, don't bring no dogs. Your dogs ain't allowed. Leave your dogs at home. Men, start bossing up. Start bossing up. You organizing a barbecue or whatnot, tell everybody, don't bring your dogs around here. Start to be anti-dog. Openly. And start with your family. Can you come over? I come over. You better put that dog away. I don't want to see it. So if I see it, I'm leaving. Yeah. See, once you start with your family, I mean, what if you are successful, that's everybody. Basically, that's everybody. Get them comfortable with that, and then ease them into it. Even though it's still crazy though, right? Something that's obvious is something that's pierce your face and rip it right off. Yeah, you need to be more convinced. You need more evidence, huh? Yeah, all these dog lovers, these big macho dog dudes, they think, oh, I'll show that mutt. You know, a lot of these guys be on that. I'll intimidate them. A lot of these small guys, they really get a high off that. I'll rough it up. I'll slap it around. I'll intimidate it. And these same jokers be in the news looking dumb. Looking dumb. You had some little experiment in your mind. You was going to slap the dog around and show a dog something that's brainless, right? Show a dog that you're, what, the man in charge, and then got you and lost your child. Looking dumb, just disgracing yourself. Now you lost your job. Your whole life is ruined over a stupid dog. Man, do y'all know how many people ruin their lives over dogs every day just based on attacks? These goofball people out here, these dogs be out chewing people left and right. And that needs to be highlighted more. It needs to be highlighted more. That's a whole world we haven't even tapped into yet. More people need to talk about how unnecessary they are. Like, I was looking at this scene last night. Ambulance, cop cars, right? A bunch of people being hauled out on stretchers. Think about it. That's all unnecessary. A huge waste of time and resources. It was all self-imposed. Every one of these stupid attacks. Look at it. Look at it. Look at how they look at the response to them. Ambulance, cop cars, tape. You know, you have people ripped apart. The scene looked like spaghetti. And it's all self-imposed. So it's like, we shouldn't even be here. Shouldn't even be here. I don't want my tax dollars going to that. I want them to fight real crime. Deal with real problems in the world. Every one of these stupid dog attacks is a waste of time and resources. Waste of time and resources. You goofball, you bought a pet that you know full well attacks owners. Simple as that. Simple as that. I'm trying to put it in dog language so dog lovers, you can't deny it. You can't deny it. All of you have heard of this happening. Dogs attacking their owners. So you sending cop cars, my money going to that? How many calls are made? We got a 10-4. They speaking in coded language. You got a dozen cop cars. You got all this mayhem. For what? For nothing. Just a waste of time. Dogs are, like I said, they represent our regression. Shame. Shame. They're a serious stain on humanity. They are the true stain on humanity. I can't defend humanity. Not with dogs. Not with dogs in the picture. You can't defend that. Can't defend that. Can't defend gambling human lives. That's all dog culture is about. Getting off on gambling with your life. It's goofy. You don't get no respect for that. Y'all walk around thinking it's macho. You need a slap for that. And be honest, you see these idiots bringing these pit bulls around their young, y'all dodo videos. Y'all need a slap for that. And you know it. You know it. You need to be arrested, okay, for your ills and thrown in jail. You can serve some time for your sick behavior. Many of you gotten away with uploading that stuff on the internet and influencing other people to do that same stuff, and then it got somebody hurt all over, the country because of y'all's influence. Horrible. Dog culture is just despicable, and I will forever have endless negative things to say about it. You understand me? I could sit here and talk forever about how despicable and backwards, how shameful, and for it to still exist, to still be here, it's the one problem that gets worse, that never gets checked, never gets questioned. There's nothing else in society like that. That just gets worse as time goes on and is never questioned. Are you kidding me? How long do y'all plan on letting this go on? You just gonna make more pro-dog movies? I will slap you. You understand? Y'all gonna acknowledge dog culture critics. We're not gonna be silenced. You understand? Y'all think y'all go hard with y'all's dog culture. We can go harder with the criticism of it. As simple as that. Y'all think y'all try to find something cool about dogs, but it don't work. You try to overlay your interaction with other people and center it all around dogs, but that's corny and unnecessary and goofy. And it's a sign of weakness that you need some type of crutch to maintain social relations with other human beings. That's a sign of weakness, intellectual weakness. It's pathetic. You see some of them gather in these circles and they're so dumb they can't even talk to each other. All they do is get to kissing and rubbing on that dog. You remember that video where that chick got her face bitten by like a wolf dog? It wasn't a German Shepherd. It was like it was like one of them shepherd dogs. Right? Bit her face. They wasn't talking to each other at all. Did y'all notice that? They wasn't interacting with each other at all. Rubbing on that mutt until it hauled off, bit one in their face. Just worthless. That's counterproductive. Now, if you were to move the dog from that scene, guess what? Them people would be forced to talk to each other. Because look at the scene. It was like 4 or 5 of them. It's like 5, 6 different people located in different areas, as if they were, had some type of meeting going on or something. No, they wasn't talking about nothing. They was taking turns rubbing on the dog, just wasting their life, their brain, their intelligence, just not evolving, just being dumb. Rub on a dog. That's what you live for, huh? So you remove that stupid mutt from that setting, and they would have been looking at each other, looking stupid, huh? Looking dumb, and until somebody figured out something to say. Well, how are you doing? Yeah, you know how pathetic that is? Using something just completely brainless as a social crutch. Really? You need to get comfortable with talking. That sounds like what your real problem is. See? And here's the thing. They're trying to raise youngsters like that to just get off on wasting all their energy on a stupid mutt. Don't let them do that. Bring these so-called therapy dogs in these schools so they can rub on them. All this to be dumb. Just rubbing on no dog. Get out of here. That's not how we're designed to function. Period. That's embarrassing. You remove a worthless, dumb dog, and the people suddenly start getting social anxiety. Like, oh, we got to talk to each other now. Oh, what if they laugh at me? More people need to talk about that. A lot of people stuck in their little preschool days where they all filled with anxiety about people, how they judge you and look at you. Man, you're not living life if you're worried about what other people think. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. To give energy to that, that's D-life, right? You dying. You taking days off your life. Doing that. Winners don't do that. Winners don't think like that. They'll be the first to tell you that. You think they go through life worrying about what you or me think? You know, I mean, think about it. Do you think these big time successful people really cared about? Do you think they even spent a second thinking about it? I don't care what you think. Stop caring about what dog people think, okay? If we gonna practice that, how you gonna gain credibility and accolades just because you're willing to rub on a dog? Y'all remember that? I had this guy tell me after I refused to rub on his dog, he told me, I see you're not a dog person. I'm like, yeah, you notice. Like, no, I'm not. They put so much on whether or not you. It's like, get out of here, man. That's a true sign of regression right there. Let's see if he rubs the dog. If he doesn't, he's a bad person. You see, dog culture just represents regression, going backwards. You don't like a dog. You're an evil person. No, you're evil for luck. Look at where being obsessed with these things, look at where it gets you. Y'all the ones get hauled off in ambulances out here. Y'all the ones inside these ambulances while it's driving up down making noises. I don't want to hear that. Y'all the same ones be running out your house screaming. They be online projecting their life as whole. Living with dogs is so wonderful. When y'all the same ones banging on your neighbor's door. Y'all the same ones where people say, I heard someone yell for help. That be the dog lovers. What happened? What happened? You was just in love with dogs a second ago. Now you screaming for help. That's got to be one of the most embarrassing things in the world too. To find yourself screaming for help after you just took some selfies with that stupid, worthless mutt. You begging, you calling this thing by its name and it's just munching away on you. You wishing that it was human at that moment. Here's the thing, man. That's a fact for every one of them. Every dog lover that was attacked by a dog, they so wished that dog was a human during that attack. That was one time they truly regretted that it was a dog and not a human being. Y'all spend your whole life just dogging humans. Oh, you humans are so terrible and dog doesn't judge. You people, you look at my corniness and you laugh. Dogs don't laugh. Y'all bash humans. But boy, as soon as that mutt clamps down on you, and you calling its name, and it's clamping down harder, oh, I wish this were a person. You just, oh no, it's a dog. And you know, and this is sad, but you know that they know that it's in attack mode. It tastes blood. You know, it's got your blood in its mouth, and it's not going to stop. To know that it's not going to stop, and you're still calling its name anyways, that has to be nightmarish. Nightmarish. You could really make horror movies out of dog ownership. And they have. But you go make a whole lot more. No, Fido. Because you know if it's your life on the line, you're going to yell that dog's name like you never yelled it before. You're going to put more emphasis on that dog's name at that moment than you ever have before, and it still doesn't work. That much still ripping you to shreds. What a despicable. What if you cannot despise a creature like that? Something's wrong with you. How about that? You should get your brain examined. How about that? You understand? Hey, listen, all of you pro-dog talk shows, I dare one of you, try to get one of these dog haters. What happened to all the smoke? You know, go ahead and pull a dog hater on your shoulder, try to clown them. You're going to have a surprise on your hand. You try that now, today, you're going to have all kinds of problems. Remember, they have always looked at people who don't like dogs as a group that they could bully. They've always bullied us into not revealing that we dislike dogs. They've always positioned themselves as a bully like that. Like, hey, don't you say nothing bad about dogs now. Y'all know this has been the culture here. It's like, hey, I got bullied like that. I told y'all about it. It took place in the chat room where they said, they questioned me, like, you didn't hate the dog, did you? You didn't hate the dog, did you? Yeah. No. Try that today. See, society won't know how to act when it has a demographic that can't be shamed. That's why they look at dog free on Reddit as like this, edgy vigilante cult that will die out soon. I'm telling y'all, that's how they're trying to project us as a flyby cult that will die off soon. Right? Oh, it's just a fad. That's the thing. A fad would have gone out of style by now. But man, we've been on the internet for well over a decade now. Let's be honest. We're going on decades at this point, right? Was it 2026? 2006. Yeah, man. We've been making noise for a long time. Yeah, we got, and that's all we need to do. Stop acting like we're new to this. Once you get to talking to people, you find out that a lot of people had criticisms of dogs. A lot of people were critical of dogs. A lot of people are critical of dogs. Every time they get around them, they get nervous. The problem is too many people punked into liking them. The guilt shaming it permeates. I admit it's powerful in society. That if you don't like dogs, you're bad. And what's making it even worse is how they're projecting dogs as medicine, sending dogs in to relieve anxiety and stress and stuff like this. That hammers home the point even more that if you dislike dogs, you are a evil, backwards, unnatural person. Because even nature agrees that dogs are beneficial for humans. So you have to like dogs or you're not normal. That's what they're trying to push. Man, y'all can forget about it. If that's not going to stick, it's not going to stick to us. You can get it to stick to them. It's not going to stick to us. See, y'all should fear us. You dog culture people, and all you CEOs, y'all should fear us, man. Like I said, I talked about this before, man. Y'all, our numbers don't drop. It only grows. And there's very few. You can't find that nowhere else. You just can't. People like certain things, and then how many music artists have you listened to at one point in your life, but today you don't listen to anymore? I bet you would be here forever naming them. You see what I mean? So yeah, the potential is enormous. All we can do is grow from this point, because it's been so demonized to reject dogs. We can basically build an empire on rejecting dogs at this point. And hopefully that's what happens. That's what need to happen, man. I need some big money corporations to build me a dog-free society. Thank you very much. I would like to rent in a society like that, if you would be so nice and charitable as to build something like that. Now, let's get serious. I don't see how an investor could pass up on that. To know that if I build, let's say, a community, or let's say a gated community, it will stay populated. The people who live there are going to fight harder to stay there than any tenants anywhere else. I don't see how an investor or a team of investors could pass on that. So why don't we have our communities? Goofballs. They don't know what they're doing. And you know what? If somebody actually tried that, that'd probably be dangerous. And that's we just gotta leave. You move to Maldives. Definitely move to Maldives. And for Maldives to be dog free, that's like heaven. That has to be like heaven. Can you imagine the smells there? Right? They found dog excrement in the air outside here in the United States. If it's that much of a contaminant, then it has to throw off the smell of everything. You know? Everything. Even your own body. Colognes and perfumes would smell different, I would imagine. I have to go there. If anybody has ever been to Maldives, man, I will pin your comment. Tell me what it was like. Tell me what it was like. Because think about it. The water has to be cleaner. The biggest pollutant is how locals let their dogs defecate, and it, when it rains, gets filtered into the water system. Well, if there are no dogs there, it doesn't happen. and you get cleaner water. Ain't that crazy? I've talked about this, I think, years ago. Every other animal, urinates and defecates outside. But the biggest contaminant is always from a dog. Think about that. Think about that. Biggest contaminant of our water and air is dog waste. Not the waste from other animals. That's why I don't compare dogs to other animals, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Why? Only the dog waste is the threat, the toxic threat. It notices the toxicity. They point it out as like harmful. It's like it's more harmful than the body waste from other animals. That's insane. It's insane to even let these things, like, they should be despised by everybody in all facets of society, from education, of course, from the medical field. Are you serious? Doctors, their eyes should shoot laser beams when they see dogs. Like, they should really despise dogs. Are you serious? You go up there, you bring a dog into my hospital, man, are you crazy? These doctors, and it would be a good, fun story if it were to happen. We need a doctor to be outraged at the dogs being brought into our flipping hospitals. I do not understand why we don't have that on film as of yet. A doctor outraged, don't you dare bring that dog into my hospital, in my place of practice. Are you out of your flipping mind? In fact, you're fired. You better get to stepping. We need, man, there should have been a whole plethora of doctors spazzing out on these. I think there's the organizations that come out, I don't care, whoever it is, bringing these stupid so-called therapy dogs. We should have been had doctors. I think it's bad that we don't have any. Don't have any. That's bad. That's bad. Because it feels like doctors are like on the payroll. A lot of people speculated that for years. They're on the payroll. Over the years, I talked about a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of crazy theories. One of them, dog culture in a way is sadistic. Yeah, it's sadistic. And I'll put it like this. The victims of dog attacks are always traumatized. Every attack victim, every single one of them, if they're badly mutilated or unalived, they were traumatized. They were in fear, more fear than they've ever been in their life. To know that that's basically monetized is telling. That's monetized. Remember, if a dog carry out the attack, nothing happens. In fact, you get a bag. Nobody says anything. There's nobody to put it on. Dogs are they're like angels in society, right? They can do no wrong. They could commit the ultimate crime, taking of a human life, and society continues to love them. The dog's image does not suffer in the least bit. They people immediately start to defend the dog. Okay, they start that in the reporting of the attack. We've been through a lot of articles like that, where in the breaking article, they're defending the dog in the breaking news article of the attacks. They're not even putting the story out first, letting it linger, let it set in, and then come back with a defense of no. They come right out and blame the victims in the breaking news article. Madness. Yeah. He walked up to him, tried to pet him. Get out of here. What do you don't want youngsters to pet dogs? You pay attention, dog culture is all over the place. They're all over the place. When you look at these stories that says that a victim walked up to pet the dog and then was attacked, thousands of reports like that. What do we take from that? That young people shouldn't pet dogs, right? Do you think they're going to do that? There ain't nothing else to take from that. Nobody should be petting dogs. You crazy? But they've got some sick agenda, where they want people to be obsessed. They want, people to be the way they are now, willing to die for dogs, live for their dog, worship their dog, put it at the head of the household, the top of the family. Dog worship, okay? I don't see what's the end goal of that? How? Yeah, show me the evolution of that. What's the end goal, huh? Just a bunch of people worshiping dogs? Yeah, I'm sure a civilization like that will flourish. It's so many red flags on dog culture. It's sad. Sad to see people so brainwashed. Individual owners, I don't have much sympathy for, but when they bring in other people, and they always bring in other people. Listen, even if you don't have a family, you just own that thing. You got neighbors, and you shouldn't own them because of your neighbors. And you decide to do it anyways. Society is irresponsible by not checking a lot of these personalities that, these people who acquire these things. I don't know if you're a wimp or you scared or you need a friend or a companion. I don't know. Some people think they need, which is goofy. Thinking you need protection. Stupid dog ain't gonna protect you. All it's gonna do is attack people who you don't want to be attacked. Sad, man. Y'all, every dog owner, think about it. That they got some horror stories about that dumb dog. They got horror stories about that stupid, retarded, inbred mutt. Even dog, like I said, all these reports to come out of, DOG, ABUSE, it's dog lovers. It's not us. We don't go out looking to harm dogs. That's one thing y'all cannot put on us. There ain't no brigade of people out here looking for no worthless mutts bop across the head. That's y'all bopping these dogs across the head. That's you, my neighbor out here, beating your dog. You left your window cracked, and I hear your dog howling and whimpering. This could be you dog lovers. Same one cooped up inside your house, sharing selfies of that stupid, nasty face mutt, vomit face mutt. Yeah, do us a favor, man. Stop acting like they're so wonderful. Listen, you want to act like they're all that and wonderful and God's gift to humanity. Have that same energy when they clamp down on you. Okay? When that mutt is ripping your face off, tell me how wonderful that mutt is at that moment. That's what I want you to do. Write a song for that mutt and sing it when it clamped down on your face. How about that? See, y'all, they don't have no smoke. I love seeing how they change when dogs go into attack mode. Suddenly, it ain't this cozy friendly creature anymore. Everybody is running, screaming in fear of their life. And it's sad and pathetic, man. Something that y'all put on a pedestal like that will, at a moment, the drop of a hat, flip and have y'all running and screaming. Hoping that somebody is armed. That's crazy, man. Many of these dog lovers, once that stupid mutt start teeing off on people, they are the same ones who hope that somebody's armed. Does anybody have a ratchet? You know what? The next pack of mutts that's out here on a rampage, send these dog experts out there with their bare hands and show us these magic tricks y'all be talking about. Show us how effective you are at looking at finding the signs, and show us what you're gonna do about it. Yeah, you notice they never try to capitalize on their talents of being able to stop an attacking dog, but they always giving advice on it. Can you think of any other expert who always giving advice on something, but they can't demonstrate it themselves? One profession. I can't think of none. It's just dog lovers. Or so-called dog experts. Go ahead and stop an attacking dog with your bare hands. Let's see y'all do that, nutters. You trainers and you experts. Show us the signs. Now, we are within our rights to demand that footage by now. Right? If you can, let's say, do something about a dog attack by seeing the signs before the attack happens, let's see it. Why couldn't you simulate that by now? All you need is a dog and have different strangers walk in. And there's the signs. Okay? They don't do anything like that. They're the only group of experts that's not required to show and prove like that. Show us. Show us. Other experts are willing to show everything that they talking about. They're always willing to. That's what they base their reputation on. Actual demonstration, showing and proving. Dog experts are the only ones that get to sit back and lie. They tell outright lies. Sit back and lie and make stuff up. Out of thin air, just make stuff up. And they still get called experts. No. Now, don't be fooled by these dog trainers out here. Because dogs are dumb. They can be manipulated, their behavior to an extent. No matter what you do, whether it's positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, you're trying to augment the dog's behavior through intimidation or whatnot, those dogs are still ticking time bombs that could attack anybody, and they do at any time for no reason at all. All you do is you minimize the chances the dog attacks you personally. That's all you do, which is worthless. Worthless. I've seen those same guys get attacked from like redirected aggression. You ain't safe just because you minimize chances that it attacks you. You're a goofball. Y'all see these guys, they come to work limping. What happened? Oh, my dog got in the fight, the dog bit me. You're vulnerable to a dog attack and you still living with it. Goofballs, man. I'm saying it right now. The youth is going to turn on you. The youth is going to turn on dog culture. And as soon as it does, you're not going to be able to stop it. This is what they know and understand. They know this. Once it catches on, they're not going to be able to stop it. It's going to keep growing. This is like it is now. What you see right now is a mini representation of what it's going to be on the larger scale. And it's because it is what it is now on the smaller scale that it's eventually going to be on a larger scale. Right? Already, we've surpassed the vast majority, I'll say even over 99% of other so-called fads. Other fads really are fads, man. Like I said, how many artists have you listened to over your life? You can't think of any. A lot of ideas have come and gone. Think about that. A lot of living conditions have come and gone. I don't know how many people own a Kirby vacuum cleaner, but if Kirby's are still around, it's a very old vacuum cleaner. But most people don't own no flipping Kirby. It's too expensive, and they're not that serious. Just give me a vacuum cleaner. Most fads come and go. This is one that ain't going nowhere. Once you're a dog culture critic, you're a dog culture critic for life. You don't need no leader. You don't have no leader anyway, even if you wanted one. You don't need no leader. Your common sense is your leader. That's the thing about dog culture critics. You see, we don't need no preacher. Right? I'm a YouTuber. There's a whole bunch of those. You got vloggers, but we don't need nobody. Common sense is everything. And it's not rocket science. Just reverse everything in dog culture. You'll be good to go. They tell you dogs are amazing. No, dogs are horrible. Follow that blueprint. That's all you need. Whatever they say the opposite. Think the opposite. Man, that's actually a real good strategy. Right? We had a lot of discussions about how backwards dog culture is. Through and through backwards. If you just reverse everything, hey, think all the memes, right? All them goofy memes, pro dog memes. Yeah, just say the opposite. Say the reverse. Man, you'll be a genius. Are you kidding? A genius on earth. Probably be able to walk on water. Get out of here. Dog culture critics will rule the world one day. You better believe it. You better believe it. get used to it. Get used to us, dog lovers. We are the next thing up. I mean, what are y'all? Y'all can't be anything more than you've already been. We're the only thing possible now. It's for somebody to counter that goofy culture and tell you how hideous these things are, how unpleasant it is to look at their faces. Very unpleasant. They not only look nasty, they have a strange look, strange appearance, strange behavior, and it's all unpleasant. Triggers anxiety. They're anxiety triggering creatures. People, it's time to get comfortable in our dislike of these things. Simple as that. No, we don't need them at the table. We can have dinner just fine without stupid mutt. These people always bring dogs around and then they start shooing the dogs off nonstop, right? You see these dog people with these stupid mutts, and all they do is shoo it away. Tell it to get down. They're constantly dealing with unwanted behaviors. And that's the thing. They base their life on that. Dealing with unwanted behavior from their dog. And that's supposed to be what makes the dog so wonderful. Aside from their selfies, these people don't have no real pleasant moments with these dogs. Yeah? They're lucky to catch that mutt for a selfie. We hear these dog people losing their minds, pots and pans falling, that dog barking, you losing your mind, bopping it across the head. Y'all the greatest threat to dogs. Dogs should be protected from y'all, the dog lovers. You expose yourself to how retarded they are, you drive yourself crazy, and you end up harming these dogs all the time. We should protect the dogs from you. See, no matter how you look at it, dogs should not be around. Should not be around. They're harmful for you as dog lovers, and y'all know it. Harmful for your health. And these things drive y'all crazy. They drive y'all crazy. That's why y'all try to pretend like they relieve anxiety and stress. No, they don't. They cause it. They cause it. We got videos of y'all crying on YouTube. Yeah. We got forums. We got Reddit posts. Y'all admit it. You got confessions everywhere. Y'all get these things. Oh, I'm going to be cool. I'm going to get a lot of likes, right? And subscriber. And it's stupid mutt driving you crazy. You're driving you crazy. And you're trying to get selfies in the middle of all that. You're trying to record a video. This mutt driving you crazy. You imagine how many takes they go through, these dumb dogs. Then they upload it, it pops up on their Instagram or whatever. And they get all these likes and comments, and then it starts all over again. Such a deadly cycle, dog cycle. It's like a drug, man, that you have to get off. You got to get off of it. You better get you some herbal tea, man. I'm telling you, man, I drink this chamomile all day, every day. I feel high all day, every day. You better get high off natural herbs. This dog drug, it really ain't popping. It really ain't the drug that y'all beef it up to be. Oh, you got to see a dog's worth. when that thing can do nothing more than lick on you. You know, you give these people a chance, and you come around them to see what all the hype is about these dogs. And all you see that dumb thing can do is lick on them, lick them in the face. And they're about ready to write a book about that. Oh, did you see that? Oh, man. See, the world is bored with dog culture, man. The world is bored with seeing y'all act like these things are so amazing. You see? See what I'm saying? It's just, you know, they can't talk. It's just like any other animal. Well, I take that back. They're a lot worse than all other animals. But y'all don't pretend like this with other animals. You know? And the world's going to see how corny that is. You know? Treating dogs like some imaginary friend that finally came true and think and understand what you're saying and all this nonsense. It's corny, man. It's corny. You dudes be trying to act like, you know, rubbing on dogs is cool. It ain't cool, man. What you rubbing on? You rubbing on a dog, man. You think that looks sexy or something? That look weird, man. Listen. I don't know what you like to rub on. I've grown up. I've been heterosexual my whole life. I only like to rub on women. I like to rub on women. I can honestly say that. And I can honestly say that's the only thing I would want to rub on is a woman. Rubbing, that's very intimate. Let's be honest. You can't rub on anybody. You can't do that. A lot of people can't just walk up and start rubbing on their boss. That's very intimate. You know what I'm saying? You have this dog lay down and spread its legs, and you think it's manly and macho to start rubbing on its stomach and, you know, rubbing on it. You think that's really macho? You sitting up there with a male dog at that? Not that it would make a difference if it was a female, but really? No thing. In fact, that's not manly. That's not manly. It's not manly at all. Rubbing on dogs is not manly. And it's not something that's appealing. I don't get nothing out of it. And all y'all get is, you know, you think that the dog won't attack you. That's all y'all doing is begging for mercy from the thing. Everybody wants to get a rub in so that the dog thinks that they're a friend and won't attack them. It's a goofy culture, man. Young people gonna see that. Y'all have this fear rubbing. You ever see y'all see these nutters? They got this fear rubbing. They're just rubbing on it. You just say, oh, don't attack me, boy. Don't attack me either. Let me get a rub in there. Everybody submitting and bowing down to the dog. Man, please. Corny. People gonna start to see through it. And that's all it is, man. A bunch of corny, weird behavior. Corny, weird behavior. Bowing down to, I mean, what are you, in a cave somewhere where, you know, you absolutely have to have protection from the giant animals outside? So you have to love a dog? It's so corny. And people are gonna look at the fact, you know, some people say they keep dogs for protection. People are gonna start to question dogs as protection. As we have, you know, like, is it really protection when the people who getting attacked is your guests? Is mainly your guests? Really? That's corny. Yeah, that's not protection. You're a goofball. And think about it. You shouldn't feel threatened if you've just been invited into somebody's home. And you shouldn't expect anybody to want to come inside your home. You really think that's a way to make company feel welcome? To be violated by a dog, pounced on, licked, violated by a dog? No, thank you. Many dog lovers don't want that. You see, people are going to figure out how corny and dishonest dog culture is. Spending time with dogs is unpleasant. They stink, annoying, okay, and always begging for food. People are going to look how corny it is to pretend like these things are fun to be around. That's where all the happiness is. Admitting that these things, there's nothing special about them at all. They don't enhance anything. They only make everything worse. Do you understand that? That's where the euphoria is. Saying something else. I mean, Lord. I have to give them credit. You have to give these people credit. They've kept this going on for a long time. You know, just nonstop dog madness, dog worship mania. And good for you. It's kind of impressive. But all good things come to an end, buddy. Dog culture. It feels good to be a part of that change. We made history, man. I don't care what y'all dog lovers. Y'all can be mad, whatever. We have made history. This generation of dog culture critics. Just being here. Being here. And being on code against dog culture. I want to see your pictures of your dog so I could tell you how nasty it looked. Go ahead and show me a couple pictures of your worthless mutt on your phone. You see? You see how there's energy in that. Hearing something else. Something contrary. And make no apologies about it. Go ahead and show me your nasty face looking dog. And I'm going to be brutally honest with how unattractive that thing looked. And I'm going to question why you would even take a picture of it. You know, it's bad enough you took a picture of it. But to look at it and want to show it to somebody else, now I got to call you out. That's just what it is. Anybody that low down, you that degenerate, you need to be called out. You taking a picture of no dog. That's something you do by accident. Accident. They taking pictures on purpose and sharing it. Making IG profiles. Y'all need to be called out. Say, should have did this a long time ago. You need to be checked on your weird behavior. What are you on? What do you and dogs got going on for real? Because obviously this ain't normal. This obsession with dogs you got going on, because you don't have it like that with other animals. So you and dogs got something special going on. What is it? What is it? See, When dog lovers start to deal with narratives like this, fewer people will want to be dog lovers. You see, the youth is going to look at the truth about dog culture as interesting. That's just how young people are. If I don't remember nothing else about being young, it's about how good it felt to have new ideas. Young people thrive off that. Concepts, sayings, perspectives, viewpoints. The human mind thrives off that. Men in particular, it gives us a high, particularly young people. That's why I value young people so much. Young people are truly the future. And the problem is that people have not talked to them like they are truly the future. We need to have to do another stream where we go deeper into this. How undervalued the youth is, and how their minds is actually wasted generationally. Adults who let their intellectual potential just go to waste. And it largely has to do with this despicable dog culture. You're not supposed to displace your value for your family. You're not supposed to share it with nothing. No other living creature, period. You understand? There's nothing that should coexist with your kids. Nobody should have to tell you that. But that's a position that could only be filled by your kids. And y'all have created really a sin by putting dogs in there. So we, dog culture critics, we're here to politely kick their nasty, vomit-faced mutants out of a position they never belonged in the first place. You see? And to make sure that they'll never be put there again. Okay? I don't care how much you big dog people try to ignore us. You know everything that I'm saying is true. Nobody becomes a dog culture critic and then goes back to loving dogs. Nobody. And y'all know it. So y'all better get up and get right. I don't know whatever possessed y'all to try to usher in this weird culture anyway. Were y'all on drugs or something? Like, couldn't you predict that the people that you're trying to sell these things to would revolt against them? Just like they have with toys and other things like that. You've even had examples, pretty much. That's all dogs are, property. That's all they are. And when defective property harms, especially a young person in the house, it's always wiped off the shelves. They do a recall and they get them out of there. More and more people are going to be like, hey, why hasn't this been done with dogs? More people are going to look at their reckless endangerment laws, CHILD endangerment laws. Like I said before, like I theorized before, you're going to have some judges, some people who, are in that field, who are going to be renegades. You're going to call them out. There's a lot of filthy stuff going on when it comes to dog culture in general, from the way it's reported. And we all know this. And the way it's handled. It's not handled. It's the only problem, like I said, that gets worse over time, that is never questioned. Like why wouldn't you expect that the everyday person would question it? Like, did you really try to plan on us being that backwards forever? get real. Get real. And I don't like that form of leadership anyway. You don't have no confidence in our humanity. Like, why wouldn't you bet on the species that we are? It's like, okay, buddy. Nice try. Nice try, but dogs, dog culture, you are on your way out the door. On your way out the door. In fact, I'm going to make some songs. I just found out you can make songs, man. Like with AI. Just insert some lyrics and they'll make a song for you. I think that's where K9, I think that's how K9, I've never asked K9 about the songs that he make. But he makes a lot of those songs, right? I'm kind of cavemanish when it comes to AI. Like, I still don't know how to make those custom AI thumbnails. I don't know how they do that. I got to utilize that more. Yeah, we need more, all of you AI makers, we need more anti-dog AI content, man. I don't like seeing all this goofy goofy dog content. Is highly offensive, and y'all should stop uploading it. You see, what is this? Yeah, see, this is bad. This it doesn't help all the pro dog promotion, but I'll accept it. I'll accept it, because all we have to do is come by once. I know this gets a lot of people down. You know, they like, how can we combat against so much dog propaganda? They got so many outlets. They got so many revenues, websites. You know, they got so much influence. How can such a small group have any kind of impact? Well, here's the thing. Here's what I want people to understand. Most people live for several years. All a person has to do is become informed of our perspective once in a lifetime. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Nobody cares about all the dog propaganda you absorbed before the truth came in. I mean, think about it. Many of us can't even remember all the dog propaganda we absorbed before we heard the truth. All that matters is the truth. You know? And what hurts dog culture is that most people have some resentments of dogs. Most people can relate to at least some of the things that we say. That's what really hurts them. There's anti-dog in all of us. All of us. You know, they just work against it. Usually starting at birth. But it's in all of us. Dogs are just disagreeable. You know, the mere smell of these things is highly disagreeable. The way that they smell, that dog smell, you don't want to stay around it. I hate that smell. With a passion, I hate it. And I don't want nothing on me to smell like it. It's a nasty, dingy odor. Could you imagine a dog cologne that smell like dog? Could you imagine amplifying that smell? Huh? Probably about 2,000%. You got dog body spray, dog aftershave, got you some dog lotion, dog scented lotion, and cologne. You'll be the stinkingest, foulest man. I'd send you home. Showed up at my job smelling like that. Like amplified dog. You gonna get amplified, sent home with the quickness. Nasty smell. It's natural for us to not want to be around stuff that stinks, and especially to smell like dog. You understand? They're nasty, all that saliva shaking non-stop, shaking every 5 minutes, causing dander clouds, just making the whole house nasty. You inhaling this filth every 5-10 minutes. You know all the stuff that's on that dander? Are you out of your mind, man? Stuff that can straight up kill you. All kind of nastiness. Put it like this. It's mostly excrement and urine on that dander. You don't play with nothing like that. Something that goes microscopic. Dander is not just visible, it's also microscopic. So that crap floating around in the air, you breathing it. Big dummy. They're horrible for society. Period. Nobody who values cleanliness has a dog. Yeah, I don't care how many sprays and odor neutralizers y'all spray in your goofy house. That nasty mutt keeps your house filthy nasty. That's why they always got dogs on these cleaning bottles or detergents and stuff. I was always putting a dog on there. I took a photo not long ago. I was shocked at how many dogs I saw lined up in the aisle of vacuum cleaners. That's like a rule, man. Dog. Get the dog smell out. Get the dog. Not even dog lovers like that smell. If y'all were so comfortable with it, why you got all this stuff? Get the dog smell out. Get the dog smell out. Get out of here, man. Okay, these things stink. They look stupid. Annoying. Anytime they hear a sound, they're looking around to see if you pulling out food for it. Every time you move, it looks at you to see if you got food in your hands. Every time you budge, there it goes, trying to sniff your hand, always hyper-focused, constantly thinking about food. That is annoying. They act like that even after they've eaten. You understand that? Even after they've eaten, they act like that. I don't want nothing like that around me. I just fed you, and every time I move, you looking for more food? Are you kidding? Get out of here. And think about that. They've guilt shamed people into keeping these things inside the home. Like, oh, you can't keep them outside. That's immoral. Buddy, what the? Are you crazy? So it's food obsessed. Food obsessed. And they're just stinking and nasty. Right? And you got a lifetime of picking up crap. Walking that stupid thing. Man, I'm not picking up excrement from nothing. From nothing. My own child. If I'm a parent. Especially if I'm a single parent. That's the only time, and that's the only person's excrement I'm willing to pick up. You see? So what I'm saying is, in the future, people gonna have more respect for themselves. You degrading yourself picking up excrement, especially from a dog. I mean, if you're gonna pick some excrement up, make it your child, make it your mother, make it your father. You ain't picking up no dog excrement. That's the lowest level possible. No thank you. Yeah, and that's what we need. We need people to have more pride in themselves. Yeah, don't be ashamed to walk around with pride. Yeah, it's all right to say that you're above certain things. Cleaning up no dog, nothing. These things be get y'all's vehicles nasty. Get out of here, man. That's why y'all spend so much energy into projecting them as if they're so wonderful. It's because y'all know how horrible they are. That's the only way you can counter it. You day in and day out, this dumb thing driving you crazy. So those videos, that content like that, it's like a fantasy. Yeah, wishful thinking. Dog are so wonderful. I love them so much. Yeah, you wish. And here's another thing. A lot of these people, they just want to project the social media image of a dog lover. So they're willing to put up with the burden of owning them because they feel like, that's a price to pay to be seen as a, social media dog person. You got that crowd of people out here also. And it's all what? Fake. It's just fake, man. Fake. And I applaud the youth, starting to rebel against this artificialness, this fakery. This seems like it's taken over. I heard they're about to start making AI everything, right? Have you a AI housemaid? AI, that stuff is dangerous, man. That stuff dangerous. You can already see there's talks of harnessing human intelligence, sort of like storing it in, and that's another way to live forever. I thought, what is it they're trying to see if they could transfer human consciousness into like a microchip or something like that? Something along those lines. So it's about time to take the technology away from the kids. Right? It makes you almost scared to die because you worried about what they're going to do to your body parts after you gone. And full disclosure, I've already talked about my suspicions as far as dog attacks. And listen, man, I don't care what nobody say. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Not in a world like this where people do a bunch of weird stuff and you're guaranteed traumatized blood. Yeah, nah, I don't trust that. I don't trust nothing. You're always better off not trusting nothing and treating everybody as a potential threat than to walk through life thinking everybody harmless. That don't ever get you nowhere, man. Treating stuff like it's harmless. Prove that you're harmless. Then I'll treat you like you're harmless. Still won't let my guard down. Don't listen to nobody trying to tell you to just willy-nilly trust nothing, especially a dog. Something that's full well is lethal. People got to protect their family from schools now, from the teachers. Goofball teachers bringing these mutts in the classroom. Shame on y'all. You've degraded the school system and the whole point of education. That's what I really don't get. That's so counterproductive, bringing these things into. You go against everything you teach them. Whole point of education in general is to teach people how to think. do things this smart, right? And y'all gonna bring them in, bring dogs in there for them to rub on. Goofballs. Yeah, you need to be called out. Yeah, and I've been waiting to rant for a long time on this goofball dog culture, this new dog culture where people, they're looking, this is scary and dangerous. They're looking at dogs as like objects almost. And just a way for people to carve some type of image on social media. They really sold that during the 2020. Some of y'all might remember that. Man, good luck. Good luck to all you young people who don't have no choice but to live with these things, man. We've talked about it before. I seriously feel bad for them, especially ones that's scared of the dog, scared of the family dog. Remember, there's a bunch of them here on YouTube. Some of them had their videos taken down. There's a bunch of young people on YouTube scared of their family dog, man. All I can tell you is make it an issue. Don't take it. Tell them you're scared of the dog and that dogs kill people. Period. Ain't nothing they can say. The worst that could happen is they go into their bedroom and talk about it. Your mother and father. And all they're going to talk about, all they're going to say is that he or she is scared of the dog and it's an issue. It's an issue. No Fido, nothing. No. He or she does not like the dog. It's an issue. We got to get rid of the dog. That's all that's going to happen. Period. And no, let me take that back. Yeah, what am I talking about? You know, these crazy people. They're pretty. Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The parents, they have the power to force you to like dogs. And you know it's going on. You know it's going on in many of these households. So dog culture, man, it's like an evil. It really is. It's an evil that lives in it's like a portal, or I want to say like a way for evil to access into your home, to gain access into your home through these retarded inbred mutants. Truly are accesses of evil. It must be stopped. And it's going to start with the grassroots. And when it starts with the everyday people, it's a wrap. We ain't made in no lab. This ain't no artificial hype. Y'all got to deal with the real raw numbers. And we get attacked. We get badly, what is it called? Blacklisted? I think it's called blacklisted. Our content it's real bad. Because like I said, I don't even have to check. Our videos don't go viral. Theirs do. Think about that. It doesn't matter that we're critical of dogs. Some of our titles are neutral. You can't tell. No matter what, our videos don't go viral. Theirs do. Think about that. That ain't by chance. Y'all see me, K9, is Sheepy. I think Sheepy is fairly consistent. I don't know if any of the content creators are still concerned. I haven't checked their content in a while. But our numbers stays relatively the same. No matter how long we upload videos, we get the same basic views each and every time. That's by design. That is by design. That is not merely by no sharing. And remember, you have a lot of these people who just recently made a channel and their videos, their pro dog content going viral. So yeah, they try to keep our message down, but our views are genuine. A lot of these content creators have, I don't know how they do it, but they have like artificial views and like likes. I guess you can buy views and subscribers. I've been hearing about this for years, where you purchase subscribers. I ain't never done that. I've been accused of that. I don't know why. Oh, it's on my original channel, and I only had like 12,000 subscribers. But I guess you can buy subscribers and buy views and all this kind of stuff. That's not the case with our content. Okay, rest assured, our numbers are genuine, and some of our content do pretty well. It just takes a few years for a lot of our videos to make the rounds. Those are genuine views, man. You know, genuine views. Not that many circles to share our content. These dog lovers, they run across these videos, share them. These IG groups and Facebook groups, they get all kind of views in no time. Not so much the case with ours. But I ain't worried about nothing. You see, dog lovers, you should look at us as your worst nightmare. Worst nightmare for dog culture. I want you to think of dog culture critics. Do you understand me? Okay? We will never be defeated on no stage, no forum, no talk show, no interview that we will ever do in life will you ever shine. Dogs will never look good or positive if we are speaking. I'm confident in saying that no matter who it is. So jump big and bad and think you're going to call a dog culture critic onto your show for any of you. Think you're going to clown one of us if you want to. We're going to have all kind of surprises for you. It's not going to end well for you. What you should do is just respect what we got going on over here. Respect the truth and respect the victims. Show some respect to the victims. Okay? Over half the victims are youngsters. Show some respect to the victims. This is a real issue. It's a real threat. Don't try to minimize it. Okay? And let's stick with facts. I don't want to hear your interpretation of nothing. Facts and numbers. Common sense. No fairy tale. Okay? I'm sorry, man. It upsets me when I see these people with their inbred beasts, and they, project that thing like it's just one of the guys. Like it's harmless. Well, I'm sick of it. We want smoke. I want smoke. Let me speak for myself. I dare when you podcasters, where y'all at, man? Where y'all at? I've seen platforms with far fewer subscribers than mine get called. Y'all ain't called me up for no interview or nothing. What's going on? See, don't be scared. Don't be scared. What you scared of? I know y'all got questions. Huh? they're not going to make a move, people. Listen, dog culture, I think y'all scared of us. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Y'all get on your websites. You get on your especially when people call you, when you're invited. And y'all say a lot of things, man, that I want to hear y'all say in person. That's what I really want from y'all more than anything. That's the only thing I want. You can keep all that other stuff. I want y'all to say to my face the stuff you got written on your websites and the stuff that y'all regurgitate on these media outlets. Say that in front of us where we have a chance to respond. See, y'all been able to exist as like a hidden group of media, a hidden media, and protected, where nothing that you publicize is held up to scrutiny. So I don't think y'all even know how to handle scrutiny. I don't think you're gonna know what to do or what to say. The first time you get pushback, y'all gonna be at these pit bull rallies with your little signs talking about how your dog is a member of the family. You're gonna run into some dog culture critics who's gonna hit you with facts, data, and statistics. And you're not gonna know what to say. You're not gonna know what to say, dog lovers. You know what that's gonna do? It's gonna create a trend. It's gonna create a trend. It's only a matter of time. Yo, I want to catch one of these pit bull marches. I can't seem to catch none. Where they trying to, it's usually about a band or a localized band or whatever. I want to catch one. And I will go out there in person, man, and set up shop. Set up shop. But you know what's going to happen. The media is not going to put the cameras on us. They're not going to give us no airtime at all. They're going to give the dog lovers all the airtime. They're going to be up in their media, up in their articles, talking about how everybody loved the dogs. Just like they do now. Just like they do now. You bring these goofy looking mutts into these schools, libraries. Some of these students walk away. Y'all know a lot of young people, they're not as indoctrinated. They're real new to dog propaganda. So they have an easier time rejecting it. They actually have an easier time rejecting it. And, sometimes some of them do, but they don't get no airtime. They don't get no article space, no nothing. It's reported as everybody loved the dogs. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. I'm going to speak for the quiet students who couldn't speak for themselves. No, they didn't. Some of those students walked out. They rejected that mutt. Rejected it on sight. Youngsters, a lot of them, they don't play. Like if they don't, you know what I'm saying? And you can imagine, some of them have been attacked. If not physically attacked, they were like threatened. That's a lot. Remember, by the age 13, over 50% of all of, young people have been bitten by a dog at least once. 50% bitten. So imagine how many were just threatened. Probably a whole lot more. The bloodthirst in dogs, I'm positive it can be seen in the crowd when they walk in with these dogs, but it's never reported like that. Everybody loved the dogs. Everybody loved Fido. No. Some of the students walked out. I've shown some of them walk right past the dog without even touching it. Right? They're trying to force these things onto the students. It's not going to work. And that's all we are. We're just a voice for, the counter of dog culture. Simple as that. Everything has a contrary, doesn't it? Everything. Y'all should have had a counter population a long time ago. You should have always had one. Y'all just had this privilege, being able to guilt people. Yeah, that's all over. That's all over. Oh, and this felt good. I haven't had a long rant in a long time. Dog lovers, listen, man. I got a lot of long rants. I might share some more after this one posts. Yes. And I'm about to lay it down too. That's a good point to end this live stream. Death to dog culture. Dog culture critics forever. And I hope you can join me on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.